I'm here in London. I just got in. Um, and I'm tired. I slept on the plane though. It's one of those things where like the plane was empty, so I got the row to myself, which was nice. But here I am. I'm in pajamas, just took a shower. I start studio sessions tomorrow. Very excited because it's a new chapter. And I'm always saying that, but we'll see what actually happens. People will see in time. I don't have to say it. Um, we'll see what happens. But I'm just feeling kind of chill today. I guess the thing that I wanted to talk about was I was supposed to do a podcast today, right? I have this mic out here. It was supposed to be online. It's a big podcast, and I was supposed to do it. And I go to open my computer, and it's like, yo, you got to update the new to the new browser of Google Chrome. And to do that, I tried to download the update, right? But it's like, oh no, you actually have to update your whole computer. And the update's like a 4 hour update. This is 1 hour before I'm supposed to do this podcast. I'm racing around trying to get everything together. And ultimately, I had to call the people from the podcast and say, hey, we're going to have to reschedule this. But I guess the point of this video is that, like certain things you just don't know, like I'm glad I checked the link for this podcast before the podcast was supposed to happen, so at least I told the people like an hour beforehand, hey, I'm updating my computer, I got to do this. And these little small things, I had just flown in. Like I was supposed to fly in, check into the room and do this podcast. So I was like planning for this. It's a mental health podcast. So I was thinking a lot about like, okay, what are we going to talk about? I was preparing and I was ready. I was ready to do the podcast and then go to sleep. But the plans are always changing. And I guess that's a cool thing to talk about, is that every single day little things are gonna happen. Now we're gonna reschedule it. I updated my computer, everything works out. But um sometimes like you can have a plan of what you want to happen and what's supposed to happen, and 99% of the time it will happen according to plan. But there's those little moments where you're sitting in the hotel and you're like, damn, I was planning for that and it's not going to happen. I think that's also like in a way speaks to a much larger thing that people deal with, which is that, you know, shit happens, you know? And that's part of life. If you let it wreck your whole day, then your whole day is bad because of a 5 minute thing, right? But if you're able to say, okay, that was a bummer, but we're still going to do the podcast at a later time. And plans are always changing, and I'm willing to be flexible and still have a good day, still take care of myself, still do the things I need to do. And, I'm ready for the studio tomorrow, and I'm going to keep moving forward. And these little, I guess you could call them little road bumps, right? The little road bumps they don't stop the car, right? Like if you're going over a speed bump super fast, which I guess could be equivalent to like being stressed out and handling those little road bumps with a lot of stress, maybe you break an axle on the car, or a tire falls off or something. But if you go slowly over the little speed bumps or the road bumps of life, you can handle them and you keep moving forward. And a lot of things will work themselves out on by themselves. Um, and I guess that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, was that we all have things in our life that's constantly changing. Or um, I used to be so stuck to certain plans. Like if there's a plan, it's got to happen, right? But I'm getting to the point now where I'm able to say, hold on, sure, that's the plan right now, but plans are always changing, right? Even in relationships. Somebody might have to fly out, somebody to go somewhere, and you had a nice dinner planned, or um, things are always popping up last second. So I guess being ready for the plans to change, but doing everything you can, not avoiding the plans. You can't be the one that's messing up the plans on purpose. I didn't know that my computer had to update. Well, truthfully, I I do press ignore updates all the time on my computer, but I didn't think for this podcast I would have to use a program that needs like the most updated computer. So that is on me, but it wasn't intentional, right? When I go to click onto the podcast, I was preparing for the podcast, and then boom. But that's just a little example of on a day-to-day basis how little things can go not according to plan. But 99% of the time, I haven't had a situation like this in a while. I like to plan ahead. I like to be prepared for things. It brings a lot more confidence to whatever I do if I'm prepared to do it. Um, but yeah, I'm feeling a little bit calm right now. Um, it's like 11 p.m. I'm probably gonna order some food and maybe watch some TV and then go to bed. Um, I guess another thing, and I'll probably talk about this. Maybe I do this for tomorrow's video, but I guess tomorrow's video will be about that likes don't matter. You know. Um, it's a random thought, but like something, it's crazy how social media does have an effect on your mental health. And I'm not sure if other people relate to this, but it really does. And it's kind of weird because you want to be able to be like, "Oh, I'm cool," and all this stuff, and it doesn't affect me, right? Like, but truly it does sometimes. Not even the comments, but just how stuff does. You could be so excited to post something and it just doesn't do well, and you're bummed. It's like sharing a project with somebody and they're not excited, or maybe you post at the wrong time. It's just an upsetting uh thing sometimes. And then you post at the right time and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm the man." But we talked about this. That's like the roller coaster of this industry and almost life now that everyone's posting on social media or TikTok. And I'm sure you guys have had videos that do well, right? Like more views than you're used to. And then you have one that's not good, or maybe 500 in a row that's not good. And then you might be thinking, "Oh no, like, is that a reflection of me?" And I don't think it is. And I can almost guarantee you it's not, because I think that some things are just about timing and they're just random luck, right? They're like independent variables because it's not a reflection of the quality of the work. I see so many good artists post on TikTok their songs, right? And they're great songs. Like you play them for a room of people and they're all going to be like, "This, who is that? That's a fantastic song. Like that's amazing." But then they might post a snippet on TikTok and it doesn't do well. So it doesn't really have to do with the quality of it shouldn't the amount of engagement a post gets or how good it does, how many likes it gets shouldn't be a reflection of the quality of whatever you're posting, right? Like if you're posting a artwork you made or an amazing memory that you had, just because it didn't get likes doesn't mean it's a bad memory. And just because it didn't get likes doesn't mean it's a bad song or a bad piece of art. I think it's about just trying unique ways um, to do it in ways that feel cool to you. You don't want to be over posting it. I mean, then it's just like, you know, forcing it in people's faces, which can be a little bit not the move. But at the same time, finding cool ways that you're excited about to share it with people. And I'm still figuring all this stuff out. It's just something on my mind right now. I'm in a new place. Sometimes, I mean, if I'm being honest, traveling gives me like weird feelings. Um, it was nice when I had somebody to like really talk to. I was talking to somebody and we'd FaceTime a lot when I was like traveling and stuff, which was nice. And like I have my family and I have a great manager, two great managers and great people that I get to work with and great friends. But I don't know. Sometimes I sit in these rooms and I'm a little bit more, it's not very exciting. I go from here to the studio and then back to here, and, you know, making music is like my passion. I've said it for a long time. I feel like my job as a human being, as crazy as it sounds, is to be of service to the people through entertaining them, connecting with them, and sharing personal experiences that could relate at a big scale, making people laugh, freeing people from concern, as Jim Carrey says. But yeah, I have to remind myself that like the younger version of myself would be so excited for me to be able to do what I'm doing. Sometimes you just have these highs and the lows in day-to-day life and in the career that I've chose to be in. And you sometimes compare to the past big successes, and I don't think that's actually a good way to navigate through life. And I have to remind myself that like if I can go really far back to the 9 or 10 year old Jacob who's just excited to be in front of a camera and talking to people, and to be in these musical theater shows that I did, right? It brought so much joy to me to just be on that stage. I wasn't thinking about likes or anything like that. I was just happy to be doing it. And I have to remind myself the reason why I do what I do. It's not for likes, it's not for attention. It's for me to be able to express feelings that I've had and learn more about myself through doing that and connect with people. When I read your guys' comments on these videos, and that's honestly what keeps me doing them. My parents even said, like, it'll be so cool for maybe my kids to watch these videos one day, because it's like my parents were saying they wish they had that from their parents, right? Like a little bit of a way that they can get to know more about, well, hopefully my kids in the future can learn more about me if I'm long gone. Maybe they find this channel and this could be kind of cool. And I like talking about real stuff. I'll have a couple videos here and there with people that are more fun. Like I have a couple on the channel so far, but mostly this channel is, sharing where I'm at. I'm in an interesting phase in my life, and my career where I'm really focused on music, and acting, and you know, really about to take some time, um, to really lock in and make sure that this music's as good as possible. I'm super excited for this song with Audrey Mika. Maybe this one, I don't know. I have a weird feeling about this one where I feel like it could be massive. I don't know. I love this song enough to where we made it just a couple months ago and now it's coming out already. But after this song, I'm really going to take some time and put together something that I'm very, very confident in, and with a lot more support than I've had in the past from a team perspective, more marketing, and really locking in on how to reach more people. And something I'm thinking about too is getting back on tour. It's been so long. It's been like 6 years. And it doesn't feel like that. It feels like just yesterday I was on tour. But then when I really do think about it, it feels like a past life that I was on tour. And I just miss being on stage and connecting with a lot of people and meeting you guys. And I think that's something that I'm looking forward to doing. But I think it's about me really focusing in the studio and connecting to something much bigger than myself and trusting the ideas and taking deep breaths and being in a state of mind where I'm in a flow state, where I'm able to just create from, you know, um, without judging, create without judging and without fear. Is this a good idea or a bad idea? No, we don't have to think about that. It's an idea. And, um, and really test things that I haven't before and take it to a new place. Um, I think it'll be cool to document all this stuff. Right now, I'm at 130,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and I'm not saying that to be like, oh, it's all about the numbers, but I'm just so I can remember in these videos. That's what I'm at right now. So maybe in 6 months, 8 months, we'll check back in on that. But it'll be cool for me to see that because I'm gonna forget. It's so quick to forget. I'm so quick to forget. Everyone is like, when you're caught up doing stuff, you're like, oh, where was I then? It'll be cool to document that. Um, and yeah, I guess that'll do it. Um, if you guys would be able to share these videos with a couple people, that would mean the world. And just comment down below. I wanna continue to grow this channel and this family of people. Just share these videos to a couple friends that you think might enjoy watching them, and the power of that is unmatched. So I'd appreciate it greatly if everyone that watches this could share it with 2 people. Oh my gosh, that would be cool. Um, and yeah, check out the other videos on the channel. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.